lead generation through the power of connection and networking. That's been a huge part of my business. And I've been an agent for, I got my real estate license July 2019, so right before COVID. And I guess for those who don't know me, Ingrid, Bridget, Carolyn, my name is Halle, by the way. I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth area. I'm actually in Dallas proper, but I work the Metroplex. So yeah, Ingrid, I'm excited to get to meet you. Shakina, we got to meet in person. I feel like I already know you, but we got to get together. So yeah, I started out in San Angelo, Texas, July 2019. Switched to EXP in 2021. And my first event with EXP was 10X Ladies, the very first one that was on the big yacht, which was so fun. Gosh. And yeah, so since then I've had really good success partnering with my husband, who's a builder. I've been able to reach icon status with EXP 3 times. Working on my 4th time,
Woo!
I've sold over 300 transactions, and I credit a lot of that to networking and just connecting with other people. I like to think of myself as a connector. I never really knew what to call it until I read a book recently that's called Super Connector. Um, I wouldn't say it's a huge recommend, but if you're uncomfortable with networking, then I think it is a good book. But if you're already comfortable with networking, it might be a little redundant for you. So I like to think of a connector as someone who naturally, builds bridges between people, shares opportunities, facilitates mutually beneficial relationships. And I'll give examples of that later, of course. But um, I think this is just super important in real estate because real estate is all about talking with people and connecting with people. So Tarek El Musa is a big face in our real estate organization, of course. And I don't know if he credits this, phrase or this coining this or if it's someone else, but he always says that real estate is a contact sport. Like we think of like football, right? You're always out trying to connect with people, touch people. Gosh, in this day and age, that sounds weird, but you guys know what I mean by that. Like just connecting with people and meeting people and, social media, whatever it may be. Gosh, of course, every time I get on a Zoom, my dogs decide to go crazy. Give me 2 seconds. I've got 3 and they're just nuts. Anyways, sorry for the interruption. So, and I think this really matters. I saw a statistic recently that said 89% of home buyers work with a real estate agent recommended by a friend. This is super important, guys. Yeah. And I don't know if that's accurate. I just saw that somewhere and didn't do any fact checking. But I believe that totally. Like, how many people have connected you to a client that's a friend of yours, right? Or an acquaintance, a ton. So I just think connection is everything that matters in real estate. I mean, we saw this in COVID where we were lacking in-person connection. Zoom got big, TikTok got big. So it's super important. So how do I leverage my connector skills? Or what are those skills? I would say it's active listening, which is probably the one I'm worst at. I am so ADD. I'm always multitasking. So 2025, I'm working on becoming a better active listener. I think empathy is a huge one. Just being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and think about what they might need. And even with that active listening, like being able to like listen to what somebody needs, problems they may have and how you can solve them, even if it's not related to real estate. That might look like, I'm talking to my friend who's an entrepreneur and she's talking about needing a new HR person. So my mind immediately goes to, gosh, who do I know that's in HR that might be looking for a new job, that might be a good, connection for this person? Because that's at the end of the day, you're providing value for that person. And that's what driving business is all about, is providing value for others. So, And this could even look like hosting events for others too, or, lunches, coffee. I'll get into more examples of that too. But really, like when I'm thinking about what helps me to reach icon year over year, and now that I'm in a brand new market. I just moved to Dallas in February. Um, and well, I guess not moved. I still have a house in San Angelo, and now we bought a house in Dallas. So I'm just here a lot more right now, trying to build this business. But when I think about like what organizations, or like what actually helped me, what I got engaged with to build my network and drive sales. Uh-oh, I think that's Lisa. There we go.
Okay.
You're good, Lisa. I think the three big ones for me are like joining nonprofits, getting involved in nonprofits, networking groups, and specific networking events. So going to nonprofits, I want to touch on that a little bit. And I see Lauren Edwards on here. She's done an amazing job of doing this as well. Um, so San Angelo, it's a town of 100,000 people. I did not grow up in this town. My husband did, but he's not a very social person. He's one of those people that's like, I hate everybody from high school. I don't want to talk to those people. And so here I am getting into real estate. I'm like, great. Like, babe, I need you to introduce me to people, because I'm looking at everybody, like all these other agents around me who are born and raised in San Angelo, or, their dad's the broker, like I'm like that. I feel like I'm starting behind everybody. I'm the underdog here. So I was like, I gotta get out. I'm listening, and this is like even before, joining under Lisa and getting into the 10X movement. I'm like, I gotta act like I'm running for mayor here and meet as many people as possible. Because if nobody knows my name, like who cares if I'm a good agent or not? I mean, that exactly goes back to what Grant and Elena say, best known beats best. So I got out, I joined a bunch of different groups. I'll get into like what the different groups are, but one of the things that I've always been passionate about is volunteering. So I sat down and thought, what am I passionate about? What do I want to get involved with so that my passion stands out? Because I know when I'm doing something I'm passionate about, that's when I become like, I feel like I'm like a light bulb, or like even like a magnet. I'm very much myself. And I think when we're so much our passionate, authentic selves, that's when people really get to know us. And when they get to know us, they get to like us more. When they like us more, they begin to trust us more. And when they begin to trust us more, that's when the business comes, right? So I thought that was like the number one way I could really draw people to me and get to know me. So I joined a couple different nonprofits, and like one of them being a rape crisis center in San Angelo. That's something that's super important and hits close to heart with me. That's a whole nother story for another time. Uh, and then I also joined the Junior League of San Angelo, and that's basically all female volunteer group. So that was a little bit more encompassing, like different like we helped different nonprofits in San Angelo. So it's not just one, I guess, like topic or nonprofit that we're focused on. But I was like, I love, this helped me to learn what the different nonprofits were in San Angelo and connect with other people in those other nonprofits. And then also, of course, with the women that I'm volunteering with within San Angelo. And it was fun too. Like we'd have different like like bingo events, or, like we did a Western dance, volunteer. So at the same time, it was fun too. And I got to meet, gosh, some of my best friends I have now, like some of those girls I met were in my wedding or at my wedding. So, just even connections like that. So nonprofits, networking groups. So this looks like Chamber of Commerce, BNI. I don't think we had a BNI group in San Angelo, but there were other ones like that. I personally jumped to the Chamber of Commerce because that's probably the biggest networking or business networking group in San Angelo. There was a female focused one. I just ended up getting involved with the chamber. And then when I realized how big the chamber actually was, even for a small town, I decided to get more, I decided to look into like what the little groups were within the chamber so that I could have a more like target audience or focus group within there. And so I chose to get involved with young professionals within the chamber. And, you know, I think the important thing here with, you can be involved in a bunch of different networking groups, but I highly recommend focusing on one or two and being super consistent with showing up to those events. Because what I found when I was consistently showing up, nobody knew me at the beginning, but now I go to these events and I know everybody and everybody knows me, right? And they begin to think of me more and they see me as someone consistently showing up. So they know I have consistency in my life and that I have, structure, I'm organized. Like that takes some skills to show up consistently to something. So that could be a bunch of different avenues. I've got some ideas for y'all if you'd like to. We could get that towards the end as well. And then I guess that goes into, did you have a question, Jessica?
No, I wanted to add on to something.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's really powerful the power of relationships not only with the clients that you make, but also the relationships you cultivate professionally. And one thing I wanted to add, and that I could say also fueled my success in a similar fashion to yours, was one of the things was showing up to those events and making myself a known figure, but also in the transactions that I was in the businesses that I was doing, um, creating the reputation of being a really great person to work with,
yeah,
not only for my clients, but also with other agents. I couldn't tell you how many times other agents called on me, whether they, even if they were from a different brokerage. Most of our transactions are going to be with people from different brokerages. But
right.
because I was able to cultivate the relationship in a way that I showed up and I gave a great experience to them as well, that went further for me. I actually got referral business because some agents would be like, I would rather pick you, even if you're at a different brokerage, because I had a pleasure working with you,
Right.
right? Because you showed up the way that you did, not only in just like literally showing up to events, but also showing up in a way that was professional and exceeded expectations of how a transaction would go. Um, so I just wanted to add on to that, like how you show up to other agents as well. Like don't just think, "Oh, I want to like be great and network and cultivate new relationships." It's like I want you to show up not only there, but I want you to show up everywhere else.
Yeah,
And how you present yourself will go further and people will think about you. I
yeah,
couldn't tell you how many times I simply won a deal for my clients just because the other agent on the other side knew about me. Maybe they hadn't worked with me yet, but they knew from other people that I was good to work with.
yeah,
And that was like powerful. That was impactful.
yeah.
Um, which is great. It
Love
was a
that.
win. It's a win for the clients, right? It's a win for you. It's a win for the clients. Everybody knows that you're awesome to work with and it's from just showing up.
100%. I love it. Okay, so without all that being said too, I think so. Y'all know I love social media, so I have to say a little, connection in there as well. I think social media, like the best way you can connect with people is obviously going to be face to face. But I think the next best way is social media, especially video, right? You want people well, one, the great thing with social media, like face to face with someone, it's just one person that you're connecting with. With social media, you can connect with the same amount of time that you would connect with one person, you're connecting with hundreds, thousands, I mean, shoot, even millions of people with that same time. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to save time or why wouldn't you want to like, it's like knocking out two birds with one stone, but it's a lot more birds. Um, and yeah, so it's like, I like social media because I can connect people with people on a broader scale. The way I've been doing this personally is heavy through my Instagram stories. I post about, things I like or things I don't like, because that's like stuff that people can relate to. So it's all about like, I don't know, like even just posting not only my personal life, but I think one of the things that I've been doing lately that have been really good for engagement is kind of posting like what my day in the life of me looks like. I mean, it's different every day, but like I'll post like, this is what I did every day. Not only is it showing authority to my clients, it's good for agent attraction as well. And then there's just always going to be something on there that someone else relates to. Like I posted, a new nutcracker I got. I'm like, like, I don't know what it is this year in Christmas, but I'm obsessed with nutcrackers. I think they're so cute. I don't know what it is. And I've had so many people reply and like send me, their nutcrackers in their house that they're obsessed with. Like, it's a thing for sure. It's just even like simple things like that. And then once they start replying, then, algorithm picks it up and there's more engagement going on. You show up more in their feed, they're showing up more in your feed. So, I just want to highlight, like, I know social media it takes some discipline, if you're trying to do it consistently, but I mean, networking and social media have been the pillar of my business. And it's like, even for example, like going through being an agent through COVID, that was, as we know, COVID was freaking scary. Like we had no idea what was going to happen. We were running out of toilet paper. So the way that I feel like I showed up and connected with other people is I tried to be a resource for others around COVID. Like I would be searching through social media, coming through websites, email newsletters around just different resources that were available to people in San Angelo. And I posted those on my stories. I posted where there was extra toilet paper. I posted that there was restaurants like having, different food for sale for people. Um, and I feel like that drove a ton of followers and engagement for me. And people actually saw me as a resource, not only for real estate, but as someone who cared about my community. And I think that connects, like, that really resonates with people, right? Like giving them help. And like we said, bringing it back to driving value. Um, and I do like to, I think the power of connection, even, I mean, like Jessica said, it can drive agent attraction as well. So like, I've gotten involved with EXP's Young Professionals Division. We put on different events. Like we recently had an event at a local like ice house for a big, like in Dallas, for example, every year we have the University of Texas versus University of Oklahoma uh football game, and it's like a national holiday in Dallas. Even though neither schools are in Dallas, the game happens in Dallas. And so we threw an event around that and provided different value adds there with different sponsorships and raffles. So that was more of like a fun event, but I'm always trying to, provide, I don't know, like I send out my new agent guide all the time to people. Or recently, this past weekend, I posted a picture of my new buyer's agent guide that I made. And I had a couple agents and other brokerages reach out to me like, hey, do you mind if I take a peek at that? I'm like, no, not at all. Like I'm here, like I'm not gonna gatekeep this. Like your success is that doesn't hinder my success. There's enough business to go around for everybody. So why not share that and be a collaborator and connect with that person? And I'm like, like here's my buyer's guide. Like, let me know if you have any feedback on it. Like create some sort of back and forth engagement. Don't just send it and keep it dry, right? Like ask questions for the other people. Like I plan to follow up and say like, hey, did you take a look at it? Like anything that you think could be changed, or is there anything that you thought was good about it? Just keep that conversation driving. So, okay, so I want to get like more into like tactical ideas that I've done that have helped me to drive lead generation. I feel like this has been overarching. Um, so I have a few ideas for you guys, but any questions right now before I get into that? Or all good? Is this good? Is this helpful? Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is something, so I've only done this idea once, but I plan to do it at least 2 times a month in 2025. So I got this idea from another agent at a conference, and I can't remember which conference it was, and I can't remember who the agent was, and I feel so bad because I want to credit them. But so what I did is I partnered up with a lender here in Dallas and asked them to get me a $250 gift card to a local coffee shop. And what I did is I parked up at a local coffee shop and in like a kind of like I like to call it like near luxury. It's not a luxury neighborhood. I would say it's near luxury. So I'm thinking of luxury in Dallas being 1 million and over. This particular neighborhood that I focused on and picked the coffee shop on, it's like anywhere from like 650 to $800,000, which is like what a lot of people my age are buying in homes right now, I would say, or like people that I'm connecting with, and then those are going to grow into luxury people. Like I'm really playing the long game thinking about this. So they ended up getting me a $250 gift card. I went up to the barista or whoever was like, checking people out, taking orders, and said, "Hey, I want to do a tab. I've got a $250 gift card. I made business card magnets, and I'll get back to those too, but I like the magnets because it's harder for people to throw away. And a lot of times those people, when people get magnets, they put them on their refrigerator, which their friends end up seeing. So I asked the barista to, say, "Hey, today we've got a lovely agent over here, Halle McCrory. She is paying for everybody's tabs today. Um, here's her business card. If you get a chance, you can, she's right over there. You can thank her." And I'm like sitting close to the counter, but not like hovering either. But I'm sitting there on my computer going through my emails and stuff. So I'm actually getting some work done, which is nice as well. But I'm in a vicinity where when people like everybody when they hear that, they're like, "Oh my God, that is so amazing." Like I just, like who doesn't like free coffee or like a free breakfast sandwich? Like it's always nice to, I don't know, it's just even if it's not a high dollar item, like I'm not getting someone $100 gift card somewhere, it's still like something about it is so feel good. Like I don't know if you guys have ever been at Starbucks and someone in front of you pays for your thing. It's like the pay it forward kind of deal. It's similar to that. And I'm not kidding you guys, I don't have any business from it yet, but I got so many people's contact information, put them in my CRM. People were so thankful and just like flabbergasted that I was doing something like this. And I didn't even pay for it. Well, I did. I ended up tipping the barista myself, but like my lender paid for this and I made a deal with them. Like anybody I pick up from this, we're going to send them to you. Um, and it was just, I don't know. I love open houses, don't get me wrong, but I feel like after open houses, I feel a little drained after, especially if it's something I put a lot of effort into and not a lot of people show up to this or show up to the event. When I did this coffee shop deal, I left so energized and like my cup was full. I don't know, it was amazing. Like everybody was just so thankful. There was so much gratitude. I sat there and helped people work through problems that they're like, "I've been meaning to contact a real estate agent about this," or, "I've been meaning to start like chatting or finding a real estate agent. We're planning to buy, at this point. I'm going to keep your card." So I can only imagine like if I'm doing this twice a month, every month in 2025, I'm really excited to see the results. And I actually connected with two other agents as well who both were with Compass. Um, and that ends up being kind of an agent attraction play there. But yeah, it was just I don't know. I just love this idea. It left me so energized, you guys. And I know that everybody's different. So, try it out and let me know what you think. But I love this idea. Anybody have questions on that or any logistics of that?
Shakina said in the comments, will you target the same coffee shop or move to different locations each time? That's a great question, Shakina.
I know. I'm trying to think about that too. I think I might pick like my top 3 coffee shops and focus on those. I'm I kind of get a little worried that if I target one, that people might just start showing up thinking that I'm gonna be there and to pay. I don't know. That might be a weird fear. I think I'm gonna do like a top three and cycle through those, if that makes sense.
And Hallie, do you avoid like Starbucks and the big name places? And do you like really like kind of focus on like the mom and pop small business owned places?
That was the intention when I picked this place because there were a few Starbucks. I don't know. I'm not against Starbucks. I think personally, I'm just not a Starbucks girl. So I wanted to go somewhere that I liked the coffee too. And again, like you said, I kind of like to support local as well. So I think for me personally, I'm gonna stick to the mom and pop shops, but I don't think Starbucks is a bad idea. Like, I don't know, maybe I should do Starbucks because there's a Starbucks in Highland Park Village, which is like one of the most affluent neighborhoods in all of Texas even. So we'll
I would
see.
say there's no wrong. There's no wrong answer. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
if your client's gonna be a coffee lover, but at
right.
the same time, I mean, it depends on how you want to see it. It's like a Starbucks is definitely gonna have more traffic.
Yeah,
Um, but
that's true. And Josh
but
Altman said that he always did Starbucks, if that makes anybody feel better about doing Starbucks. So
but I also like local. So I like both. I mean,
yeah,
you can cycle through them.
yeah. Well, and I don't know. I like the local aspect too because like for me in San Angelo, I made it a point to connect with other business owners. I just like connecting with other business owners in general because I like having other entrepreneur friends to bounce ideas off with. And I think there's more of a possibility of meeting those business owners with a small local shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. So I
Yes.
think I keep coming back to supporting the local shop, but I don't think Starbucks is a bad idea at all. And we already know they have like easy gift card system and stuff too. So,
Correct.
how often will you do them? I'm gonna shoot for 2 times a month. And I did mine on a Friday morning as well. I did 8 to 11. I just thought there'd be more of an influx of people in the morning.
That's a great idea.
So, yeah, I like all the support local. Yeah. Y'all know how it is.
Can
Do you
I
Uh,
ask,
guys see,
can I
this
ask a
is
question?
Claudianne. Just one quick, do you see there's some action going on right now? Claudianne Hibbert Smith on our organization. She's got what I see a whole room of agents working hard. I see everybody's on their laptops. This looks like we're making calls. It's the call-a-thon. Oh my gosh, guys, can I quickly, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I definitely
no, I'm
want to
good.
I want to mention this because we're going to be doing I want to invite everybody here on this call to the call-a-thon that we are going to be doing pretty soon. We're going to start the year off right. In January 6th, it's going to be hosted by Claudia Ann. We're going to have a virtual link for anybody who can attend virtually, but also for those who are locally around here. The Great Eight is there. That's the name of the group of the people that have collaborated in person to make these calls. They are securing appointments. So I definitely want to invite everybody to the call-a-thon that's happening. Save the date, please. So here we go. January 6th. It's a Monday. We're gonna start off the year, the first Monday of the year. Call-a-thon. It's gonna be going on from 10 to 12:30. So hopefully you guys can join. Please email
That's
me
Eastern time, right?
Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Hallie, for asking. Yes. And we're gonna have a virtual link for all of you to attend. So please drop your email in the chat so I can be sure to include you all if you are
Ooh, I love the
interested in
listings.
doing, yes. Let's get some listings. Let's start off the year strong.
Listing
Let's
bosses.
listing bosses. Let's create the market. Let's not wait for the market. Let's create the market. So thank you, everybody. I see everybody's putting in their emails. Fantastic. I'll be sure to include you all.
Okay, and another point. Sorry, are
Go
you
ahead.
good, Jessica?
We're good. That was my announcement, actually.
Okay, good. Perfect. I love that. I'm gonna be on that for sure. Um,
Great.
so I think, okay, going back to the business card magnets, you guys, this has been, so I did these business card magnets. It's essentially your business card, but a magnet. I can ping my operations manager and see where we ordered them from. Um, when I first got into real estate, like I told you guys, my husband was like no help in introducing me to people, but he did give me a list of like people we might know or people that they're close to his family. And I went and made handwritten note cards and sent my business magnet to people. And as I got to know more people, I would give them my business card magnet. And eventually all these people would put them on their refrigerator. That's how I figured out, like, and that was the idea behind it too. But I've gotten a couple different leads, like I would say at least 4 leads, or 4 actual like listings or buyers. And I just restarted this in Dallas too, so stand by on that. But from just people seeing, like other people I didn't know, seeing my business card on their friend's refrigerator, which is just like hysterical. But I think about it and I go over to people's houses and I'm like, I love looking at people's refrigerators and like what invitations they have or magnets. I don't know. It's just so telling about a person. Uh, so I love this idea. It's not like a huge, I mean, of course it can be a big expense if you do a lot of magnets, but like I think the value you get out of them, and it's harder for people to throw those away than just a piece of paper, right? Um, so what I'm doing this year, I don't know, did Haas tell you guys about Postable by chance?
Mm,
No?
Might have, but do
Oh,
you mind, for those who might not have been on that call, do
okay.
you want to just reiterate?
Yes. So for my Christmas cards this year, I got new business card magnets made that show that I'm in Dallas now. And I put like EXP luxury in there because I'm trying to move, like I'm working. That was the whole point of like moving into the Dallas market, was to increase price point. So like try to get more luxury listings and luxury business. So I sent out a Postable link, which is Postable is a website that will collect people's information for you and then like have a little mini CRM for you, and then you can send out like Christmas cards and stuff from it. I think they make their money from like the cards and stuff that you might order from them. But to use Postable to collect people's information is free. So, and the cool thing about it, like I sent it to people and say, hey, like I want to send you a Christmas card, or I want to send you a holiday card. I should say holiday. I want to send you a holiday card. Will you fill this out? And I know a lot of people are doing this for like wedding invitations and stuff too, or birthday invitations. So it's very like it's a non-invasive way to ask for people's information. And Postable automatically asks for not only your first name, last name, um, email, phone number, address. It asks for your spouses, all your spouses' information as well. Includes birthdays in there too. So I'm like, while I'm trying to get people's information to send them holiday cards, I'm also pulling this information to put in my CRM as well. And to, send them newsletters or like what my new listings are. I'm categorizing as I'm putting them in my CRM as whether they're someone for my Dallas targets or my San Angelo targets. So what I'm doing, I'm sending those people, depending on if they're like what my relationship is with them, I'm sending them not only my Christmas card that has mine and my husband's business logos on them. Do you guys want to see my holiday card? Would that help?
Yes, absolutely. I love to see a good holiday card.
Okay, I'll share. Do I have share capability?
Let me give that to you. Go ahead.
Oh man, where is it? Okay, here we go. Share. Okay. So it looks like a regular holiday card. This is me and my husband.
That's so classy. Look
Got
at
the
that.
dogs. Like everybody relates to
Oh,
their pets. Like this is going to speak to the pet people, right? And then I've
it's
got our
cute.
our business logo. So it's nothing like in your face either, like, but
No,
it's a reminder, hey, we're in real estate, right? Okay, like, don't forget us, right?
Yes,
And this way I can write off the Christmas cards as well.
it's
I'm
very
sure I could
cute.
anyways, but I'm like, I've got for sure proof for if the IRS wants to ask me why I'm writing this off. But yeah, and so then I'll show you postable too. Oops. So here it's collecting addresses
Hmm.
when you send out the link. So look at all these people. So here's an agent in Dallas that I want on my team really badly. So I have his address to send
You'll
him.
get him. You'll get
Yeah,
him. Benny's coming on board.
Benny's coming on board. He's leaving
He does,
Compass.
he doesn't know it
Yeah,
yet.
now I like I have his birthday. I can put him in my CRM and send him a birthday note. So yeah, this is just it's really easy. And then next year I can send this out and ask them like automatically ask them to update their information next year. So super easy. And then it's like it's even just another touch point, right? Like we said, it's I'm trying to connect with this person. And what
So
doesn't
Postable
provide
will provide you a link to share
yeah,
out to everybody so you can collect their info.
yeah, so like here, I'm a big Apple Notes person. I have I just copy and paste and send that to people. And I just put for Christmas card. Easy. Not
Easy.
threatening. I'm not like spamming them with my business stuff. It's just a little Christmas card, right? Like who doesn't want a Christmas card from me?
Right.
So
Beautiful.
I'm sending them the Christmas card. I'm putting a business magnet in there. And then also for my past clients, I'm putting in a coffee shop gift card as well. That's like in lieu of like you know how people in Thanksgiving will give out pies or whatever for their clients. Like I just
Yes.
figured this was an easier way because I have clients that have moved all over the United. Actually, I have a client that I just found out moved to, gosh, where are they? Singapore.
Oh
So
my
I'm
gosh.
sending them an e card for that.
That's funny.
But yeah, postable super easy. But then I'm sending like now I'm sending out my new business cards, and I thought this just was like a non-invasive way. And then I'm also like another couple birds with one stone, just throwing in like gift cards for my past clients or anybody who's like giving me referrals, may or may not have bought or sold with me this year, but I still, they've given me value. So let's see. Am I still sharing my screen?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So, okay, so that's the magnets. Another thing I've been doing with social media. So like I made right now I have a top 50 list of people I'd love to help buy or sell in Dallas. And what I did is made a spreadsheet and I have I copy and pasted their Instagram pages in that spreadsheet. And whenever I get a chance, whenever I like want to go scroll on social media or I'm trying to wind down watching TV at night, I'll go click everybody's Instagram profiles and try to engage with see if they have any stories or new posts that I can engage with somehow so that I can start like my post will start showing up more in their algorithm as well. So it's just easy and it's just like a tactical way. Like I know that I want these people, like let me just have them all written out or like have them all organized on a spreadsheet so I can just click through, right? Does that make
Right.
sense? What I'm saying?
Yes. But you pull up the spreadsheet from your phone, so it just
Mhm.
it opens up into your
Yeah, I'm a
Instagram.
big Google person, so I've got Google Sheets, Google Docs, like everything on my phone.
Okay. Makes
So it's
sense.
super easy. And then like when you click the link, it automatically opens your Instagram app. It's not opening like in your browser.
I
So
love that. You're being a lot more intentional
yeah,
about you're still using your social media, but you're being more intentional about who you're trying to connect with.
right. Yeah. And that's what we
Rather than doom scrolling and not, I mean, there are people that just scroll, scroll, scroll and never even like
yeah. Use your
interact.
time
They
wisely,
never
right?
they never engage with it. So this is a much better use of your time.
Yeah, and I feel like even just making that list helps me to manifest that possibility of working with them even more,
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
I feel like I'm like putting it in the universe when I'm have them on that sheet.
Yes. And success meets preparation. So like
Yep.
you're doing those steps in order to create that opportunity.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like, it's things like that, like, you've gotta make like, systems for yourself so that, because if you have systems, you're more likely to do the task, and if you're more likely to do the task, like, you're creating, that's how you create massive action, right? Um,
Hmm.
I mean, there's different ways, of course, you can build massive action, but I think these little, just even little things like this that you can do, that all adds up. Like, staying on
Absolutely.
top of these people, staying top of mind, like, have, and I, like, what I do is I make, even further to, like, remind myself to do this, I have a little, so again, big Google person. I rely on my Google Calendar for, to remind me for everything. So every day I have an everyday reminder to go and engage with those people. I have like a little notification, like it's like a meeting on my calendar, if that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like because I'm so ADD, I've got a lot on my plate, but like, so I need that reminder.
And how does that reminder look like for you? Like, it's just, is it simply to go into the list and like pick a person, or is it you're being intentional
No,
about,
go through the list. And if I don't get through the whole list, then I'll go like on the back end the next time.
wow.
Yeah. So like I've even got like little, so here's like my nighttime one. I'm like post in Facebook groups, check hot sheets for buyers, and
Guys,
any showing follow up. So if I had
look
showings
at
that day, like
look at
reminder to
that.
follow up with those people. Like create those reminders for yourself. Make it easy. Make it easy for yourself. I mean, that's why even like, this is a whole nother topic we could go into, but I'm like, I'm trying to make standard operating procedures, SOPs for everything in my business. So if I have a crazy day, I don't want to forget anything. I can just pull up my SOP and literally go through my checklist of what I need to do and remember what I need to do. Whether it be for, making a repair amendment for a client, or like what I need to do when I get a new listing. So that way you just, it
You
like
don't
takes
miss a
like a lot
step.
of the brain power out, right? Because that's
Yeah,
what drains us at the end of the day, is that using a lot of our brain power. Like we can just have checklists for ourselves that we just revert back to. And that's why I keep Google Docs on my phone. That's why I use my notes app a lot. Um, so
I
yeah.
love that. I personally have become a huge fan of SOPs.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to incorporate more and more of them in my life. It's funny, but
Mm-hmm.
as we're talking about, I mean, I create these SOPs or create these policies, right? In order
Yes.
for us to not only we don't want to miss things for our clients, like a rental checklist, a listing checklist, even an open house checklist, right? Like, if
Right.
you want to create a good experience, if you're throwing an event, like you don't want to miss the details because the details matter. But as we're talking about, I'm like, heck, SOPs, I need to make SOPs even for my personal life, right? Like I,
Literally, I do.
I if there's ways to become more efficient for the sake of taking out the brain power, right? Taking out the brain power, taking out the struggle, why not? You know?
Right.
So, and it just makes us better for it. It just makes us
Yep.
better business people, better individuals, and it's just so smart thinking. So,
Yeah,
thank
and it
you,
just helps
Hallie.
us get more done at the end of the day, which is the goal,
Yes.
or my
And
goal.
no things are missed. No, I love that. And I love the time blocking and the reminder.
Yes.
I definitely am going to take, that's my biggest takeaway, guys. That's my biggest takeaway. I'm thoroughly impressed, Hallie. Thank you so much.
Okay, and I've got one more little story for you guys. So this is someone, I want to like give you an example of how I try to be a connector with other people. I think this is like the best example for this. So when I went to 10X Ladies in 2021, the very first one, I met one of Elena's close friends. Her name's Tracy Nichols. So she went to 10X Ladies. She has a fabulous jewelry brand, and it's like a high end. Like her pieces are like $800 or more, and they're just beautiful, beautiful pieces, like very meaningful. So it's like, beautiful in like a visual sense, but like the meaning behind it too. And she's an amazing person. And I've kept up with her. So at the time I was living, or like just only living in San Angelo. And I've kept up with her on Instagram, like I've watched her business grow. And when we bought our house in Dallas and when I decided to expand my business here, I went through and was like, okay, so who do I already know in Dallas? And like, I tried to compile a list like that. And she was one of the people that came up. And I don't know, something about her just stuck out to me. I'm like, how cool would that be to reconnect with her? So I just simply reached out and said, hey, I'm in Dallas more. I bought a house here. Would you want to go to coffee or anything? And so she reached out and was like, yeah, for sure. And so we ended up meeting up and we were talking about our businesses. I figure out that her partner, he's like mega wealthy guy, huge investor, like owns all these Jiffy Lubes and stuff. Like they're definitely people to know. Not only is she like such a nice and amazing person, like I'm like, this is someone who could be really good for my business. Even if I don't end up working with her direct, I know that I feel like this is someone who could refer people to me potentially, or just get me in the right rooms. Like I just had a good feeling about it. And so she's someone, we went to coffee and I really tried to be like an active listener because we were talking about our businesses. And even actually that day, she came in and was like, oh, you have no idea what just happened to me. My Instagram was hacked. I mean, like her business Instagram. So that was like a huge, I'm like, okay, so we went through and I helped her to like get a hold of support. Thank God she like pays for the little check mark and stuff. So I helped her through that. I'm like, I know how to work social media, and I'm like, I feel like I know how to just dig around with the support people to try to get a hold of an actual human and stuff. So I helped her in that sense. Um and then on top of that, my sister-in-law owns a small business publication that highlights local small businesses in Dallas. I have another friend who works for LTK, the Like to Know It, which is big for these retail companies. And then my sister-in-law, and my other sister-in-law is just like a total connector as well in Dallas. She knows all these like mega wealthy people and whatnot. So I organized a lunch for all of us to meet up at, and she brought her social media girl, and we just had an amazing time. Like I helped Tracy. So like Tracy's gonna be in the Scout Guide with my sister-in-law who owns that. It's the small business publication. She's signed up for Like to Know It. So she's gonna be on there to connect with more, like that connects her to the other influencers, because influencers have been big for her business. And then also just like actually having like a clickable link on those influencers. So it's easier for people to buy her product, I guess I should say. And so I feel like I've been a huge value add for her. Like I'm introducing her to the right people, I feel like, even though it's not related to business or real estate, I should say. Um, and I feel like that's gonna come around, right? Like that's the goal of that. Like I want to be of value to her. I want to be like not a concierge, but someone she knows that she can come to when she has a problem or needs some sort of certain person in her life. And I feel like she could be that for me, even if it's not related to real estate. So that's kind of an example of how I'm trying to go about relationships like this. And I don't expect anything back, but it would be nice. And it's looking likely, right? So does that make sense to y'all?
Yes, absolutely. It sounds like a beautiful, I mean, it's a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
It's like, and but you're coming from a place of contribution, and most importantly, your intention is pure. Because you're saying you're like, I don't expect anything, and that's kind of how we should approach. We just, you know, expect we don't expect really, um,
Right.
but come from a place of give, right?
Right.
And good things will come from that, just from having that stance of
Yeah.
how can I add value, how can I help this person,
Yeah.
and the right people will see that. And like you said, if there's an opportunity that this person will see, like, let me call Hallie, let me try to give her this opportunity because she's been such a value to me. So
Right.
I think it's an incredible advice that you could give to everybody.
Okay. Good. Well, that's all I got. Any questions that y'all have? All good? Okay.
I think everyone's good, and we'll try to send out the link, the recording, and If anyone needs anything, just let us know. We'll see you next Thursday.
Okay, so
If
we
we
are
don't,
gonna have a call next Thursday.
oh,
That was gonna be
excuse
my
me.
question.
Wait. Excuse me.
That's the 26th, the day after Christmas.
The day after Christmas. Stay tuned. We'll find out. So
Okay.
keep your emails open. Okay.
Good to see
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank y'all for listening to me
Bye.
babble on.
Bye.